Good evening. Good evening. Welcome back, you guys, to VIBE95, South Florida's hottest reggae and hip hop radio talk show. You know, it's your girl. But tonight, I gotta tell you guys, Mr. 305, we gotta bring it to y'all today. This man has brought music and the Latino to America, just bring it all together, brought everybody to the limelight, and brought what music makes sense today. So here it is. I'm gonna let him introduce himself tonight, you guys. Bringing in our guest tonight, Mr.
What's poppin'? What's poppin'? This is Salazar Tabaguero. You already know, repping that Dade County Chicos. Shout out to my girl, Lady Liddy, VIBE95. Shout out to my boy, Don't Sleep Promotions. You already know we in the building.
Good evening, good evening. Welcome tonight to Vibe 95. How are you, Mr. Salazar 305?
It's Salazar 305, just so you understand how it is. Just sound it out.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
excuse
doing
me.
good. I'm doing good, man. Just ready to go in with you and cover and cover this little podcast and little interview that we're doing, man. I'm super excited to be here, and I'm honored to be here chilling with y'all and rocking with y'all.
Thank you for being here with us tonight. Now I'm gonna go ahead and kick it off and get you started with you repping Dade County, coming from Miami, Florida, born and raised. Tell us about that first and foremost.
Well, basically, it's real short. Born and raised here. Basically, I've lived everywhere in Miami, from Hialeah, South Miami to Kendall. You know what I mean, all over. So I know people from all parts of Miami, and yeah, basically went to all the schools here, just like everybody else. Or went to the worst schools. Actually, I'm a product of the Max South out here. So yeah, representing. You already
So
know.
what
Been
would you
street
name
all
your
my life.
so what would be your nationality?
My, I'm Cuban. I'm Cuban American.
Cuban. Cuban American. So you going into the
Yeah.
Latino music when you went back in those when it was coming and evolving into the Latino music. Tell me how you got your thumbprint into that standpoint.
Basically, I had an in-house producer. You know what I'm saying? He used to engineer for Trick Daddy, so he had his hands in the game, and I actually owe a lot to him. His name is Los. Um, Basically, he took me everywhere with him, and I learned a lot of things just being around him. And one day I started rapping in Spanish just to mess around. I wrote a verse. I wrote two, three. I showed it to him. He told me, "Look, this is what you need to be doing." And before I knew it, Sony Latino was knocking on our door. Not even for me. They were knocking on the door for production for my boy because he had really, really good production, like for Spanish hip hop and Spanish trap. And this is all the way back in 2002 when nobody knows what the hell Spanish trap was. We've been making this for a really long time. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So this is nothing new to us. So they came knocking on the door, and my producer, being my producer, he showed them to me. He showed me to them, and they didn't really know what to make of it. There were two A&Rs. They went back to the label, and the label told them, you gotta go sign this kid. So I signed an audition deal with Sony Latino. We came out with a compilation album, me and seven other artists. Shout out to all those seven other artists. And no, we dropped the album, and then after that, they offered me some on the solo, and I didn't take it. I went on an independent, and I jumped on this big independent label at the time in 2005, which is Strictly Business Records, and they had Della at the time. They had Epidemic. They had actually my in-house was the producer Los, and then they added me to the roster, and then yeah, basically I started running with them, and then a couple years after that, I just branched off on my own and started doing everything on my own.
So being an independent artist right now, how was that decision back then? Do you still stand on that decision and staying as an independent artist, or would you sign looking now?
That's a great question, and I like that you're touching base on that. I mean, back then, what they were offering me, I couldn't even shoot a video with, so it wasn't a smart move. And me being a businessman, actually starting from the inside out because I started off signed. People start off in the underground and they're trying to get signed. I started off backwards. So I got to
Yes.
learn the ins and outs of the game, the goods and the bad, the slime, So I basically learned from that experience, and then I took it to my own experience. But to be honest with you, what they were offering me at the moment, I couldn't even shoot a video with. And then you got production that you got to pay for. There's so much stuff. And studio time back then. It was a different industry back then. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Very different. It wasn't like today that you can just record a video on YouTube and pop off. It's not. That wasn't happening. You
that
know what I'm
wasn't how.
saying? So yeah. So basically, what I'm saying is back then, to be an artist, you actually had to be signed, or you had to belong to an independent label that was actually doing something.
Mhm.
Now, anybody can be an artist, you know what I'm saying? So it was a little different back then, not knocking the hustle today. I mean, the hustle's the hustle, you gotta adapt to times, and it is what it is. Anybody can do what they want to do, and if they shine, they shine. You gotta figure out a way to shine. I'm not knocking today's hustle by any means.
Truth, truth. So going back to that question, the answer would be that I'm not saying regret, but would you, if you were to rewind that time and be independent or be signed still, would you stay signed?
Nah,
Even though knowing
absolutely
that the
not.
money
I think
was
I made
definitely not, you made the right decision.
Nah, because yeah, I made the right decision. Absolutely. I feel like I did. You know what I mean? Um, they at the time they didn't really know what to do with Spanish hip hop. Reggaeton was hitting super hard. Reggaeton just popped off, and it wasn't even at its like pinnacle yet. It was taking off, and it was so they really didn't know what to do with the hip hop. So I was already in a way kind of sheltering myself from wasting 3 4 years of my time belonging to a label and not doing nothing with me, being shelved, as opposed to building on my own and working on my catalog and making my own brands and taking off on my own.
So being an independent artist, those seven other artists that you work with the album that you were signed with, have you worked with those seven other artists since then?
Actually, yeah, I have with probably half of that group. The other half I haven't seen in a while, but I mean, all of us is our love. We can see each other today and we love each other like we're bandmates. But just some of them stopped making music, some of them stayed. So I've made probably, yeah, with half of that group I've made music with.
And how are the relationships? Obviously, you have some that, like you said, you do have relationships with still. But when I hear, not saying looking into certain interviews and you looking into your music and how you set up your music, you have a lot of, I would say you have a lot of a band behind you when it comes to this reggaeton and what you put out with the Latino music. What I want to ask is the music nowadays without Latino music. How do you feel your music compares to nowadays? And if you were to be able to keep up, or would you surpass the music you feel?
To be honest with you, I was making trap in 2002, so I would say I was way ahead of my time, to the point where I got discouraged for a 5 to 10 year span because I was so ahead of my time because nobody wanted to hear trap music. I was showing people trap music and they were like, "What the hell is this?" Like they didn't care. You understand? So I had to, like, I wouldn't say sit tight, but I had to come up with different ways of motivating myself to keep making music to get to this point. And I think I'm not gonna say I surpassed the music because I don't like tuning my horn like that. I can definitely keep up, but I think just me making this music for the amount of time I've been making it gives me a certain amount of advantage, in my opinion.
So you have the chalkboard up from 2002 for all the music and everything that was pretty much low blown and underdog. But how are you going to bring those music back, or are you going to try to keep up with the time now in 2021?
Oh, no, no, no! I'm not gonna try to, like, pop off songs from 2005. No, no. I
No,
mean,
of course not.
I'm
No,
gonna
no,
be
no.
honest with you,
Yeah. Go
because I've
ahead.
been making trap for so long. You know what I mean?
Mhm. So you do
But
have upcoming music.
I definitely, I just dropped a video last Thursday. I don't
Mhm.
know if you've seen it. It's called whooping that
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
It's trap. You know what I'm saying? I think the audience will find the video very interesting. You can catch my YouTube channel at Salazar 305 on YouTube, and you can go ahead and subscribe. I would love it. Comment, like, even if it's bad. All publicity is good publicity. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna get mad at nobody. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I know my music's not for everyone. So I mean, just the fact that you went and checked it out is good enough for me. That's supporting. It don't take much to support nowadays. You don't gotta spend money. Just by doing that, you support.
That is true. That is true. So, what are your next upcoming events right now? Because I know you still work and you know, in the Latino, like I said, the music industry and everything else. But like you said, nowadays it is easier for a lot of artists to just come out, pop something on YouTube. So now you are having to evolve and go onto YouTube and make it a little bit more easier and do, not saying easier because you're still gonna have to push that work in. But now compared to 2002 and the work that you pressed on and day in and day out, do you feel like in comparison again, do you feel like it would be more work or less work now for you when it comes to keeping up with nowadays the genre that's going on now?
To be honest with you, it's easier for me because I make beats now too. Like I make trap beats now, so I actually make songs from scratch. You know what I mean? I make the beat and I make the song from scratch. And like to be honest with you, I feel like I'm making the best music of my life right now. And there's still room for improvement. There's still time to get better. But I just feel like I'm making the best music of my life right now. The visuals that I'm putting together, to the beats, to the lyrics, to the concepts of the song, it's all coming together beautifully, in my opinion. I just gotta get it out there, which is what I'm concentrating on right now. Um, I try to constantly work on getting my subscribers up. I'm constantly putting my songs on playlists on Spotify, getting my stuff out there out of Miami. I did branch out and I did do a tour. I toured in Spain in 2010, so I have contacts out of Spain. Um, so I try to use every connect that I've gotten in the past 15 years, I don't burn bridges. I still have relationships with all those people, and I just try to put my music out, and thank God I'm able to get my music, to the other side of the world because of that. So I'm just working on making myself better at spreading out my music, the marketing, the promotions, the interviews, which is something that comes with the game. It's not all just music. You know what I'm saying?
That is true. So with you hitting out your music to Spain, now of course, like you said, you are more into the Latino industry and the music, but you throwing your music and shipping it out to Spain, is it hitting more for you out there than it would be here in our area in Miami and West Palm Beach and Tallahassee, Jacksonville, and Florida itself? Um, you
Well,
obviously, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
no, no, no. I'm sorry. That was my bad. Um, it depends. If it's the English stuff, I am. If it's the Spanish stuff, I'm trying to stay local because I mean, as you move up the Florida coast, people don't really speak that much Spanish. You know what I mean? So they'll get lost in translation. If it's a Spanglish song, then that's a different story. But like all Spanish, like there's for me, I usually like try to hit the Latino cities, like where the Latinos are at. But once you move up a certain amount in Florida, people start losing the Spanish a little bit, and it's like hard for them to like keep it, especially with hip hop, because you gotta listen with hip hop. It's just not shaking your booty, and it's
Mhm.
you gotta listen. So considering that people lose Spanish, I kind of keep the Spanish side of things. I try to go to Mexico, Spain, South America, Costa Rica, Panama, like everywhere where they, even in Canada, parts of Canada where I know there's Spanish people. Like I do my research, you know what I'm saying? And I try to aim at and I try to direct my targets towards those people, and it works for the most part, Right now, I don't have any shows. I know you asked me if I have any like shows coming up or anything because of this whole COVID. Everything's getting back to normal finally. So I'm sure in the next couple months I'll be getting booked for something soon. I just haven't been because of this whole situation with the restrictions and everything that's going on with this right now. But it seems to be coming to an end. So yeah, I'm getting ready. I got the music and I got everything ready to go. I haven't stopped making music. As a matter of fact, I've dropped a video each month of this year. I haven't stopped dropping things. You know what I mean? I've actually put the pedal to the metal since this whole COVID thing. I've done the opposite of everybody else.
And you just keep on going, running all the way through.
You,
I see
you
the
got
hard
to.
work. You can't, yeah, consistency is key. Once you sleep once, people forget. And you have to keep on pushing. And with your music and how you're pushing, you are definitely hitting every corner and you're putting in
Thank you
that
so
work.
much.
So you are definitely showing it, sir. So we're gonna have to go ahead and get into this childhood. I need to find out. Because while you was growing up in Dade County, like everyone knows Miami's Miami. Everyone's like, Miami's Miami. You being out there, what made you touch and get into music? As a child? As a child, did you just grow into? And I know, your father. You did have, what was it that I had? Your dad was something in poetry and music.
Yeah, my dad used to play the guitar. He wrote his own poetry. Yeah, he was actually really good. He wrote songs for artists out here in the early '80s. He really didn't get credit for any of that because he didn't know the game. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
he's a fluent guitar player, acoustic guitar player, and he wrote poems. So he had, he kind of passed that down to me to a certain extent. You know what I mean? So I mean, for me, everything was sports at the beginning. You know what I mean? I was a three-sport player. I played football, basketball, and baseball. And then I
Okay.
got a little lost when I got to high school, and kind of threw it out kind of all the way. And then I kind of found music at the beginning when I was very young. I had an aunt of mine that went out with a percussionist, Puerto Rican percussionist that was very famous, and he used to play with the biggest bands out here in New York, in the Bronx. And when Celia Cruz used to come out here, she used to get him to play. He used to come out on TV, so he grabbed me and he took me to studios, like $1 million studios, when I was like 6 years old. And I kind of soaked that in very early in life. He always gave me instruments to play. He would give me the drumsticks and he'll tell me to go off on the drums, and I would play beats without even knowing what I was doing. And they would tell him, how does he know how to do that? And I would just, by the sound, I just make it. You know what I mean? And then after that, I kind of lost touch with him because he separated from my aunt. And then it was my producer. I met my producer when I was like 12, 13 years old. I moved into his neighborhood. He would DJ every day. He had like a speaker coming out of his window, and he would scratch every day, and he would have Wu-Tang and Craig Mack and 92 playing out he had the whole neighborhood lit. And
Yeah.
he started DJing. And then one day I heard him rap. I heard him freestyle, and I was like, "Holy cow, this guy's nasty! I want to be like that." And I didn't tell anybody anything. I started building a love for it. I just didn't know how, because it was just
It was
something
new
that
to you.
I don't know whether I wanted to play an instrument or I wanted to be vocal or do both. But I ended up rapping. I ended up being the last kid in my neighborhood. Everybody was like, "Oh, he's the last one. He's just doing it because everybody else is doing it." And but I would practice a lot. I would sit in my garage for hours, hours and hours with a freaking radio, two cassette tape decks, and then a headphone with a jack
To
plug into the
record,
microphone. So one
rewind.
side would record exactly, and I would
That
freestyle for
was
hours.
it.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? That's hip hop though. You know what I'm
that
saying? In
is.
its
That's
essence.
where the heart came from. Putting in
Yeah.
that sweat
So
and blood, rewind, record. Oh no, I missed that part. Redo. Wait, what I say? Oh, okay, hold on. Write that down real quick. That was the growth of it. That's the heart and soul. So that's where you
yeah,
came up.
yeah.
It
And
makes
before
sense
you
why
knew
the
it,
heart hasn't stopped.
I had like 8 people in my garage freestyling in a cipher,
Yeah.
recording it. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Had a
hip
whole
hop.
studio. Yes.
Exactly.
So
So
that's where the heart is. So that's why it
yeah,
continues. No matter how long, like you said, it's easier now because you've been doing it. It's been in your blood. So it's there.
of course.
Did your dad
Yes.
understand how you wanted to go about in the music industry, in the Latino, how you wanted to go in your direction in the music, not guitaring and poetry? Did he understand and support that growing up?
Oh, he supports everything I do. He just pushes me. Like, go, bro, do it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what it is. Like, I made a song for him, and that guy tells everybody about that song to this day. Oh, he made this song for me, and I have
Yeah.
it in my tape. Come listen to it. And because I talk about him, and what like all the stuff that he did in Cuba, because he was a Cuban national in baseball, which back then in his time was really hard because there was only 14 on the island, and 14 on the island for the population was very, very little, so you had to be really good to make one of those things. And he made it twice, and he made nationals. So
Oh wow.
out of those four teams, they would make one team, and he made that team. So he was really good,
It was
and that's
amazing.
why at the beginning, kind of baseball and sports was everything. But back to the music, yeah, he supports me all the way through.
All the
He
way through.
tells me, yo, I tell him I want to do this. He's like, he pushes me. So it's great.
That's amazing to have it. And your mother, if we do and can speak on that as well, how's your mother in this relationship with your mother?
Oh, she loves and blow and comments on everything I post.
Oh,
She's all,
she's
she's
the
not.
biggest
You
cheerleader
know,
you have.
you would think some parents, yes, you would think some parents will be like a little reluctant to push the persona that I kind of am. Because I am shot out. I don't try to filter myself at all, not even to
At
my
all.
parents. I've
You're
had
very
I've
out
had
there.
gold teeth since I was 16 years old, and Yeah, and they've accepted it. I went to the worst schools in Miami, and they love me for who I am, and I am truly blessed for that, because they see me do a complete 180. They see me go from, one side of the bad to all the way to good. You know what I'm saying? And get it together. So, and they've always supported me. So I'm truly blessed to have that. I really am.
Takes a village. It does take a village. And
Hmm.
look what the village came out to do. You did a very good job, sir. You're doing a very good job. So in
Yeah.
2022, which is literally 6 months, probably less than 6 months today, this is going to be a new bracket, a new year to break something completely different. Every month, you have been hitting something different. You've been bringing out new music, bringing out new hits. 2020, 6 months. Give me one goal that you have that is different from what we're doing right now. What is the one thing that you're
Oh,
gonna shock and bring out? You don't have to give us all details. I know you got something under your sleeve. I know you do.
oh, oh my God. To be honest with you, I'm gonna go mainstream. Honestly,
Are you?
yeah, I'm gonna go mainstream. I'm gonna try to hit the reggaeton pop market tour, like, but like I'm making the beats. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you're
So
gonna make
like,
it. Okay.
I'm gonna go mainstream. I'm gonna try to get with these guys up there right now. I think I can do it. I mean, I've been a songwriter, so I can songwrite, I can sing. I can do a bunch of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I'm about to bring that out now. I'm about to bring
I
all the
think
weapons out right now. You
that
know what I'm
is
saying?
gonna be an amazing adjustment for you. That's gonna be a great. I mean, you're
Oh,
already running, so it's not like you have to slow down. That is mainstream is just
oh,
constant. You already been running, so you're gonna keep up. I mean, you're gonna probably surpass exactly what you thought.
well, well, to be honest with you, that's a dope thing about being a songwriter. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not. It's not like I started writing songs about partying and or women or just songs concepts period that have to do with mainstream. Like I've been doing it for other people, and that's how I kind of started singing. I was doing demos for a lot of people, and from doing so many demos, I got good. Like honestly, I got good enough. You know what I mean?
You're
I'm not great now, but I got good enough to do what I can do. You know what I mean? From doing demos, because I was doing demos, I was writing songs for other people, and I got to the point where, you know what, I just tried it. I'm like, you know what, let me do this. Let me see how this sounds. I'm gonna do it at the crib. I'm gonna record it. I'm gonna take it to the big studio. I'm gonna put auto tune on it, and let me see how it sounds. You know what I'm saying? And I tried it, and I kind of like what I
right.
heard, and I kept doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. And so
And
now I'm
perfecting
just
it and make
gonna,
it better.
keep working at the craft and start busting out the bangers. Honestly.
The bangers. That's what I'm
And
saying. The
another
bangers.
thing is, I'm I'm trying to get at least a dope feature with somebody, in the game, somewhere soon, however I can get it. I'm gonna try really hard to do that, whether it's making a beat for somebody or whatever I can do to get a feature for somebody. You know what I'm saying? That's in the game, in the mainstream game, so that I can catapult myself, and keep going. Make my brand. I got two brands right now. This one, which is Soy Tapero, which means I trap in Spanish. You can catch the
Whoa.
video on YouTube. I brought out the brand with the song. That's my Spanish brand, and then I got another English brand that I haven't brought out yet that I'm gonna actually give you the exclusive. It's called Chico Mob. You know what I mean? I just finished branding that, so
All right.
that's exclusive to hear. You heard it here first.
You're
There
first
is a
here, you
IG
guys.
page.
You're first.
Yeah, it's already registered, so nobody can steal it. But yeah,
Perfect.
I'm gonna actually start bringing out the clothes and all the stuff and the merchandise exactly how I did this. I got a song called Chico Mob, and when I bust that out, it's gonna be pretty
Oh,
much
that would be
a
pretty
launching
cool.
song for the brand.
Nice. You are a smart market man. I see how it works. I see how it comes together. So you saying featuring, working, and music. What is your relationship with Pitbull?
Well, I actually have a record with Pitbull. I have my only reggaeton record with Pitbull. It's called Player Haters. You can find that on YouTube. It really didn't have a release date because there was just a lot of politics behind that whole entire album. But yeah, my producer has a relationship with him. He was like making a lot of music with him and Jim Johnson and Slip and Slide and stuff
Mhm.
like that back then in 2002 in the South Beach. And I was, like I said, I was going there too, and I was soaking all that stuff up, from producers to rappers, and I got I got to meet Pig a couple times. I got to chill with Pig, pick his brain a little bit, and then he took off. So I haven't seen him after that. But I actually got to hang out with him because of my producer, because he has
Good.
a good relationship with my producer, and through him, I was able to hang out and meet him, and I
Awesome.
actually have a record with him also.
You do have a record with him, yes. That. And what is that record called exactly? I just so we can bring it to our audience, so if they want to check it out as well with
It's
you
a
and Pitbull.
reggaeton. It's a reggaeton record from 2002. It was an album that Slip and Slide tried to put together after he got signed to TVT, and the owner of TVT, which was a lawyer, wasn't having it,
Mhm.
so it never came out. You know what I mean? So we have the vinyls. I have the vinyl here hung up in my. The vinyls came out. They got printed and everything. It just didn't go through. You know what I mean? And I don't really like to talk about music politics, but that's what really happened.
So the relationship is solely between the producers, and you guys work very and solely well together within the time that you guys did. With
Yeah.
you saying, and
I
you
actually go ahead.
go ahead. No, no, no. It's because we're lagging. I think when
No,
I'm
no.
speaking, you hear me afterwards. I think we're lagging a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, it's a little
I'm
like a
starting to
little
hear it.
like a little latency, a little delay. Yeah, that's why we're
Yeah.
like, but it's okay. Don't worry about it. It happens.
I apologize for cutting you off. So with you saying your features and you working hopefully well going mainstream, you know that you're gonna have to feature and work with more high enders that are also mainstream. What are your goals? What will you manifest like the top three people you would want to work in when you first put your step?
People I want to work with.
Yes,
That's a
top
great
three,
question. Uh,
top three, the top three people. Yes.
top three people I would like to work with. Wow, that's a great question. Um, well, one of them is not here. I would love to work with Tupac. That was one of my that was one of my, like, I listened to Tupac growing up, Biggie too. I would love, but for people that are actually here,
Yeah, yeah.
I would love to work with Timbaland, the producer.
Oh, really?
I've met him. I've met him. I think that guy's great. He's awesome. He's so down to earth. I think he's awesome. Um, let me see. I would love to work with Calle 13, which is the Spanish rapper from Puerto Rico. Like, he does all the crazy stuff. Like, he's a very controversial MC. He's very, very popular. Um, Let me see who else would I would like to work with. Somebody super dope. I would love to work with Quincy Jones, man.
Really?
Yeah,
Quincy Jones.
yeah, I would love to do some. Yeah, Quincy Jones. I would like to do something with Quincy Jones. You know,
Wow.
um, yeah. But I'm an old soul, man. You know what I mean? I'm an old soul. I think I relate to music a lot more from back in the day, like the '80s and stuff like that. Because I think that's when kind of music broke its barrier and all these different stuff started happening in the '80s and stuff like that. And I think that's when, you had so many one-hit wonders because everybody was so different but so dope at the same time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I kind of do like that. I would also like to work. Let me see. I'll give you one more person that would be super dope that I would like to work with. Um, I would like to work with Outkast.
Yeah, I can see
Yeah,
that.
I would love
I
to.
can
I
see
would
it.
love to work. I would love what the Outkast, and the whole Dungeon family. Really,
Whole Dungeon family, that whole
that
hit.
to me. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you like
yeah,
that
yeah. There's
fast
only a
and beat
certain
up.
amount of people that know about that whole little movement.
Yeah, I'm saying that's
A-Ball,
happening.
JG, all them cats.
Yeah, okay. So I see where your flow is. So you still want to keep it soulful and heavy because everyone you pick pretty much comes with their own kind of soul to it.
And new
They
guys right
didn't.
now, like new guys, I would like Joyner Lucas. Joyner Lucas would be dope. I would like to work with Joyner Lucas. I would like to work with Two Chains. I would
You
love
were
to
with
do
Two
something with
Chains.
Two Chains, bro. Woo! I would
Yeah.
love that, bro. Oh hell yeah, Titty Boy. Hell
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Yeah. Okay, so you can
yeah,
see
yeah.
yourself with Two Chains. I thought you were gonna say Future. I was like, well, you said Two
Oh,
Chains. I
Future
mean, Two
too.
Chains.
I like Future
You
too.
like his
Future
flow
too. I would
too.
love to do Future too.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you like that
yeah.
flow.
I'm just
Okay.
drawing. I just draw blanks because there's so many of them, and it's like, damn, who do I pick? But I just tell you all of them, you
So
know.
y'all of them. I think I could definitely hear and don't throw no in that. I mean, but I could definitely hear you and a Drake doing a song. I could definitely hear like the flow mat, like how hard you come and how not saying he comes soft, but like I could see like the contrast that you guys could hit
Hey,
if y'all did a song together. I could definitely see
hey,
that.
from your mouth to the trap god's ears, baby. I'm down for that. Hey, I ain't got a problem at all.
I'm hoping, but here's hoping. Here's hoping. I mean, like you said, once you go mainstream, you're pretty much opening the door to a lot more opportunities because a lot more people can now venture out to you, not thinking like, okay, he's this and this and this, being more shunned out and independent as well. But going mainstream and independent, you're opening a lot more gates for yourself. So be ready. Manifest
Yeah,
this bad boy, start putting these names on a little dream board and make the music happen. And when they hear it,
yeah,
they're gonna want to be on it. They're gonna hop on it. You don't gotta ask them. They're gonna ask them to be hopped on. So just
yeah,
manifest that
yeah,
and get that. I
yeah.
can
And
see
you know what?
it.
One final last name would be Dr. Dre for sure.
Oh, of course.
Dr.
Oh, of course.
Dre.
That's legend. If anyone could any choose everyone, it would definitely be Dr. Dre. Definitely, definitely. The beats, the music, the flow, the stand, everything about Dr. Dre just comes from the realness of music, where music actually
Yeah,
started.
that whole that whole label is crazy, and even Eminem's label too. Aftermath is wow. Everything
Yeah.
is all those
Yeah.
guys. Everybody. I listen to all those cats. I listen to Slaughterhouse. I listen to a lot of things. You know what I'm saying?
Slaughterhouse,
I just
yes.
know what I'm good at. You know what I'm saying? I know what I'm good at, so
You
I
know
do
your
what I'm good
craft.
at.
Like you said, you've been working on it for a long time. So you know exactly what you're doing. You've been doing it. Just keep on doing it.
Well, it's
So we're
interesting that you touch on that because in Spanish, I found my persona really fast. In Spanish, I knew exactly how I wanted to sound. I knew everything, but in English, it took me a really long time, and it's because I took a break from rapping in English for a really long time to perfect the Spanish and to get really good at Spanish. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I had to just, because remember, English is my first language. You know what I'm saying? So
mm,
I'm like Spanish I talk a lot of Spanish and Cuban Spanish and stuff like that because my parents didn't speak Spanish. As a matter of fact, I was born here. When I went to elementary school, I had to take ESOL because I had such a bad accent because nobody around me spoke English. Everybody spoke
okay, yeah.
Spanish.
So then while you're doing all that and going through all that, so you're thinking that was your break, like that was your breakthrough. Like that was how it helped you though. Because thinking about it,
Yeah.
a lot of people stop. Like they know that they do have another language or whatever, but they don't work on it. So for you to stop on English completely, knowing that you were making money here in your local area, in Palm Beach, in Miami, you were making the music for that area, you was making the money, but you decided to stop and put a hold on that to throw music, knowing that this would take you a lot further, or were you just stepping out on hope and wishing? What was that when you did that?
To be honest with you, it was just the Sony knocking on my door and getting signed. Like that's it. You're signed to a Spanish label. Like you're doing Spanish rap music. That's it. Like there's time to concentrate on this, Poppy. Like this, all this English stuff is all good, but this is what's gonna put you over everybody right now.
Next level.
You know what I mean? So I had to, I didn't. It's not like I had to make a choice. It wasn't a hard choice to make, but those are choices that you're gonna have to make. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of artists out there. I'll give you a perfect example. There's a lot of artists out there that their hit song, their number one hit song is not their favorite song. It's probably the song they like the least,
Yeah,
and
yep.
it's their hit song. Daddy Yankee's a perfect example. As a perfect example, Daddy Yankee's song "Gasolina" is not one of his favorite songs. It's really not. And look at that song. You know what I mean? So you don't know. As an artist, you might say, "Well, this is fresh," but you don't know how the audience, the
All the people
people
want to take it.
are yeah, because you're remember you're in the music game, you're making it, but as a consumer, you're not listening to the music as a consumer now. You
Yep.
know what I mean? So you got to balance it out.
You got it. It's hard. I mean, it's hard, but at the same time, like you said, you gotta take the good with the bad and keep it pushing. And you've been doing that, so
And don't
I don't
stop.
see
Whatever
you
and
stopping.
that's one thing. One advice that I'm gonna give every artist out there listening. If there's any artist listening in the audience, is don't stop. I had to. I had to take 10 years of me showing people trap music and then telling me what is this crap. That's very, very, very debilitating. And it's
Yeah,
very it's not it knocks your courage right out off your feet. But I took 10 years of that. What you just gotta do is you gotta keep motivating yourself. Find other things to do. Don't rap about the same thing. Rap about different concepts. Even if it's hard, I guarantee you, once you're done with that song, you're gonna be a better artist. I
yep.
guarantee you. Why? Because you broke your head trying to write that song. And you know what? That unlocks certain parts of your brain. And if you keep unlocking certain parts of your brain, by the time you know it, yes, you're a completely different person, a completely different artist, and you just keep leveling up. That's how you do it.
That's how you did it. That's
And I'm
how you did it.
and I'm gonna continue trying to do it. There's so many. The brain is very powerful. You gotta
I mean,
learn
like,
just how to unlock stuff.
like I said, you are right down the street from us. So, like I said, when you become this billion, dot, billion, multi-million, billion man, in net worth and all, don't forget Vibe 95. We were here for you. All you told
Yeah,
us
man.
where you going.
Like I said, I'm honored to be here. Like, what I'm saying. I thank you so much, Lady. You know what I'm saying. Shouts out to you. Shouts out to VIBE95. You know what I'm saying. Shouts out to Dope Boy Promotions. You already know they got this on. If you need promotions on IG, you need promotions on any type of internet media, you go hit them up. They got you. You know what I'm saying. They got me. I've used them before, so you know what I'm saying. Don't sleep promotions, man. Don't sleep on them.
Don't sleep for real. Don't sleep because he does not at all. Trust and
Yeah,
believe.
shouts out to Kenny, man. Shouts out to Kenny for real,
And
man.
out. Kenny's definitely working. He's always working. Always working. So Sony, you went to Sony. You worked with Sony. You did all these different hits. You got year after year, month after month, and books of books. I heard that you did say that you have books that you haven't, I mean, music that you haven't even released yet, like songs that you've written, or I guess it would be poetry if it's written down and not read out loud. These songs and books that you write, are these songs gonna ever come out in the future, or are these just something that you have um as journals or memorials for your past sessions?
No, I mean, I believe no matter what time you write something, it's never old. You know what I'm saying? I think everything is timing. It doesn't matter if you wrote it 20 years ago, or maybe you wrote it 20 years ago, but you found the beat today, and then it sounds off the chain. Music has no time. Art has no time. Like everything, but everything is timing. Pay attention to what I said, yeah. Music has no time, but everything is timing. You know what I mean? So just because you wrote it 10 years ago and it didn't sound so good on a certain beat, make a fresh one. Maybe that's the hit you got, and you don't even know you got that there. It's old to you, but ain't nobody heard it, so it's not old to them. Remember, you're thinking like a musician. You're not thinking like a consumer. Don't think
Consumer.
like a musician. Think like a consumer.
Mm. And so you already know what you're doing. I like that. All right. So is there a difference between the Spanish gate blockers from the American blockers in the industry?
I mean, it's very hard to make it out of Miami. It's there's such a small place. Everybody wants to be a star. There's a bunch of people saying that they do stuff that don't really do stuff. They're third party people. There's a bunch of third party people in Miami saying that they produce, saying that they do this. Meanwhile, they're not doing shit. They're getting the beat from somebody else, saying that that's their production company. So that
Oh,
that that whole that whole situation is just an example. There's a lot of that going on. So it's kind of hard,
wow.
you know to get your foot in the door. That's why I constantly tell people, don't be discouraged. Keep performing, go out and perform, do your thing, get heard out there, get the locals to hear you. But always concentrate on getting your music out there. Remember, Miami's a very small place, and when I mean out there, I mean go to
That's
Orlando,
what
go to Fort Myers. That shit's popping, and that's another one of my goals is to get out to Fort Myers, to get out to Orlando, to get out to Port St. Lucie, to get out to all these little places that people appreciate your music. You know what I'm saying? People would actually you actually create a following. There's money out there. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You just
they're
gotta
all
go get
saying
it.
if you're in your area the most is those are the people that don't see all the potential in you. They can see the potential, but they can't see past what they were raised to remember you from. So going outside your city, they
No, and
always
you
say you have more support outside from than you would in your own, like, which sucks, but it's true. once other people hear what you're doing, a lot more people support you than the people right in front of you that's been hearing you doing it for years.
Yeah,
So how do
and
you feel
also it's
about
like you never know that if you leave your county, and I'm just saying your county, you might leave your county and you might go to a venue, and who knows, you might meet somebody there that might get you a show in
that? Yep,
Atlanta,
take
and
you
you
off.
might meet somebody in Atlanta that'll get you a show in Texas, and that's the grind, bro. You know what I'm saying? But if you stay stagnant and if you stay still, you're not gonna experience that. You're not gonna get to do that. So go out there, you know. Um, Miami. Just because people aren't feeling stuff in Miami doesn't mean that your music is not good. You know what I'm saying? It just needs to get properly placed. Once it gets properly
Oh, okay,
placed, you know how
okay.
Miami is. Once 3 or 4 people jump on your bandwagon, Miami will be like, "Oh, we always loved him. Hold on a second,
Oh yeah,
woo!
that's that's
We know
how
he
it
was
is
on air,
everywhere.
buddy." You
Yep.
know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Meanwhile,
I was trying to understand what you're saying, but yeah, that is exactly what you just said. I was like, wait, but then when you broke it down, no, you elaborate. That's exactly how it is. No one sees it until there's a whole wave, and they're like, oh, hold on, now everyone wants to jump on it because
yeah,
so and so supported it, and that's unfortunately sometimes you just gotta let the wave, let people fall off while the wave keeps going. So it's okay. But like you
yeah.
said,
All right.
because you were in this industry for so many decades, you've seen it and heard it all. You've seen the where people come from, the work. You can see it in people. You can hear it in their music. Definitely, since you do your own music, you produce your own music, you do all these things. You get good deals, bad deals, all this throughout your whole time. You know the difference when you see the hard work and when you see someone that's just coming in, putting a couple buttons together and taking someone else's work. So you know it. Whilst people are
Yeah,
hiring you,
and
how many
don't get
bad deals
discouraged.
don't be discouraged. I know you've been to the point that people have come to you
Don't,
and asked for business and work. How many bad deals have you had? Like give or take, just a guesstimate. People coming to you
I
and
don't
not
bad deals. To be honest with you, I'm a solo writer, so I stay away from bad deals. Um, but I've had bad stuff happen to me, like everybody else, and let me tell you, it's gonna happen to you more than once, and I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna happen more than 10 times. You know what I mean? And what you need to do is grow from it. You know what I'm saying? Like the world out there isn't a pretty one. It's not gonna be easy to get to where you want to go. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to go through trials, tribulations. You're gonna have to crawl. You're gonna have to get cut. You're gonna have to get knocked down. You're gonna have to get up a bunch of times. But you know what? Grow from it. Because if you don't
grow
grow
from
from
it.
it, it's called insanity. If you repeat the same thing over and over again, expecting a different results, it's called insanity. So just grow from it. You know what I mean? Don't be a baby. Grow from it. Babies don't get nowhere.
That's true. They don't. Unless they're carried. But
I'm just being real. I mean, there was a point, in my life where I was bitching about everything that it wasn't going my way. I'm not trying to say like I've never been there. I'm telling you this because I've experienced this. You know what I'm saying? It's me. I'm not telling you because I'm perfect. No, 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 no. I've went through this. There was a time that I was questioning everything. Why this? Why that? And it was, and at the end of the day, sometimes it has to do with you. There's things that you have to change. There's, not everything is the way you make it to be, or you think it is. You know what I mean? And it takes time. It takes years. You know what I'm saying? And another thing that I can tell you is stop saying no and start saying yes. Even if you don't like, yeah, you want a regular, just say yes. Do it for a couple months and see where that gets you. You know what I'm saying? Because we experience a lot of things that start making us say no, 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 no. You know what I'm saying? No, 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 no. I don't want to do this. Or no, but you're blocking your blessings by doing that. You
okay.
understand? So sometimes if you feel like saying if your first impression is to say, no, I'm not trying to tell you to go into a bad situation. I'm trying to say like let's say you don't you there's a like a hip hop thing and you want to go to an event and you want to network and you're like, nah, I don't want to go to that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go because it's gonna be the same shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it was 4 years ago. You can't be like that.
Yeah.
Like if your first initial reaction is to say no, say you know what, I
Bump
wanted to
that
say no,
no.
but
I'm
let
gonna
me
do
say yeah.
yes. Okay.
Yeah, do it for a month. Do it for a month to see if it's you that's blocking your blessings. Because you'll find out within that month if it's you blocking your blessings. That's the way you do it. That's the way you feel. You got to do it. I had to do that sometimes. I've been in the game for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like sometimes you feel like you're running in circles, and you'll feel like you're running in circles, and like you'll be like, no, I don't want to go there because it's the same shit. And at the end of the day, maybe it isn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And What's bad? What's there bad about going out and promoting yourself? There's nothing bad about that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what you're gonna be doing, going on and promoting your music, your persona, who you are, your clique, all that. So just go do
Yeah,
it.
you're right. So, what would you tell before you get out of here? What would you tell our next upcoming group? I mean, not even upcoming group because really, honestly, our music is not going to ever go back to the 80s, 90s, 2000, early 2000s. We're not going to get that back. Unfortunately, I already gave up on hope. I'm getting that music back. But what would you tell our next round of music girls that are growing up in our industry in the industry now, or watching industry change and grow and change again and change back and seeing and hearing so much, other than telling them don't give up and to keep motivating yourself and everything else? How would you give them, what leeway would you give them to understand in the industry what path they should take? A lot of people, like you said, a lot of people say, they'll sell themselves or they give whatever and blase in the industry to make it to that next level. You didn't, and you're still making it and you're still doing it. So what would you tell the next upcoming homegirls that will follow in your footsteps?
Well, to be honest with you, they have it easier than ever. You can just pop a video and blow up, and you can be a one, or you can go viral from one day to the other. You know what I'm saying? And what I always tell everybody, be yourself. Don't follow nobody. Be yourself. And this, you know what? Today and age, it's a lot easier to be yourself than it was in my day. You know what I'm saying? It's very liberal nowadays. There's a lot less speculation on if you want to color your hair a certain color, or you want to dress, or you want to be you. You know what I'm saying? It's that being you is hip nowadays, is what I'm saying. So just be you, because you never know if you're the next big thing that everybody's looking for. And if you go and try
Yeah.
to copy, buddy from the corner doing what he's doing, you're never gonna be yourself. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna take you longer to find yourself like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So if you got an idea, and it might be crazy, it might sound crazy, yo, do that shit, yo. You know what I'm saying? Because people, billionaires, millionaires, or the people that think outside the box. You know what I'm saying? So don't think like everybody else. If somebody tells you, "Oh, that shit is whack" or "that shit is garbage," don't just because they said that shit don't mean that shit is whack or it's
Women did.
garbage. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they don't even have the capacity to come up with their own shit to have somebody say, "Yo, that shit's garbage." You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
just don't give
big
up.
fact.
Like, that's the main thing. But, like you said, not to say, I'm sorry, but be yourself, man. Be yourself, and set trends. Do your own thing. You know what I mean? That's what everybody's doing nowadays, and that's how people are blowing up, is being themselves. Copying what the next man is doing is only going to get you so far, and then you're going to hit a roadblock, and then you're not being yourself. So when you look at yourself in the mirror, how happy are you going to be, really?
Not gonna be able to recognize yourself. You don't even know who it is. Craziness.
Yeah, a lot of people lose themselves. You know what I'm saying? And then when they end up looking at and taking a peek from everything that's happened, they're fucking miserable. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry I curse, but they're miserable because they haven't been being themselves. It's all an act, and then when everything goes down the drain and nobody respects you no more, what do you have?
Nothing. Just the fakeness and the masks that you wore.
And you're a has-been. That's it.
Yep. That's
So
horrible.
just be yourself, and if, bro, like I said before, you're gonna fall, you're gonna get cut, you're gonna take mad blows. There's gonna be so many things that are gonna happen to you. Nobody escapes through this untouched. Believe
Until
me. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're the son or the daughter of a famous musician, when you are born to the game, like that you have those outlets already before you even get here, like you gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe they're telling you that it's whack because they're trying to copy your shit. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. So you
don't
stop
do
and
it.
they take it. Oh Lord. Look at that. You're worried about the interview. You did amazing. Like it was a beautiful interview. Mr. Salazar 305.
Oh, thank you.
I loved it. And thank you for bringing me into your world. I appreciated every moment of this. We are
Oh,
definitely doing
thank you so
a
much
part
for
two.
having me. I'm truly honored, for real. Lady, it was a pleasure, even though we just finished meeting. Shouts out to you, all your endeavors, all your talents, everything that you're doing. I hope that everything that you're doing and you're working on is goes to the stars. You're a great personality. I love the interview. I actually started off a little dead and I got more energetic. So shouts out to you because you brought that out of me.
I did feel it too, and I was like, "Oh, he's warming up." Because when he first came in, I was like, "Oh man, he's not gonna like me." I felt, I was like, "Oh, come on, man," because you're like, "Man, she had me waiting." I felt the mood. I was like, "Nah, we're gonna bring you in," and I knew it was gonna come up because you from 305, so there's no way you did. There's no way. So I already knew it was gonna come.
Nah,
So
man, nah. We amped out
we
here all the way naturally.
all the naturally ants. Yes, like
Yeah,
I said, you are amazing. I need to
I
see
can't
those
even have
goals.
Cuban
I need
coffee.
to
That's
see
how
it.
amp I am.
There they go. I was gonna ask you earlier, but I don't want to be rude. I was like, there they go. I saw them shining the whole time. Mine's are shining because they braces. Those are braces. Yours are shining because they gold. I have
Yeah,
metal in my mouth. You got gold
yeah.
in your
I've had
mouth
these. I've had these forever.
forever. Don't laugh.
No, since I was 16, I've had them. Since I was 16, I've had grills in my mouth, man. I've been a rough neck all my life, bro. I've been a
Oh
little
yeah,
bit nappy headed kid all my life. You know what I'm saying?
good nappy.
I learned from my experiences, and I just, I switched it up. I turned the negative into a positive, and I hope that I can be an example for whoever's listening out there that you can turn your negative into a positive, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? No
No
matter
matter what.
what, because when I tell you I came from the bottom, and I'm not Drake. When I tell you I came from the bottom and I've been in the street, I bring my old boy in here and tell you that he'll tell you that I'm from the street and that I grew up there. You know what I'm saying? This is not, that's why they support everything I do. I've been me. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like, I have to like, I'll be like another kid from back in the day that used to have a grid on. And when he went to his house, he has to take it off because his mom and his dad will whoop his ass. Nah, that wasn't me.
That wasn't you.
Nah, that wasn't me.
He's like, nah,
You
that wasn't
know,
me.
Let me tell you something. I was so bad. Okay, my mom went to everybody's door and knocked on their door and told their parents not to let their kids chill with me. Okay, because I was the bad one.
It's you the bad.
Okay, so
It's
you
the
hear what I'm
bad
telling
ones in
you?
there to stay away from the baddest one. And they're like, hey, y'all bad, but y'all not like him. Stay away from him. Stay away from
Yeah.
him.
So yeah, man. I really appreciate you having me. I had a great time, man. I hope that like I said, man, I hope that all your talent on your endeavors, everything that you're doing works out great for you, man. If you ever need anything from Salazar, you already know you got me here.
And I'm definitely gonna follow you on IG and your YouTube because I definitely want to keep up with all your endeavors and everything that you got going on every month and every week because you are definitely in it. Don't keep in mind this is just one part of the interview because I'm definitely gonna hit you up for a second part because I definitely see you. Like I said, this last couple of months you're gonna be running, and when you hit this mainstream, you're definitely gonna be taken off. So we are definitely gonna get it back in a part two
Yeah,
with
that's the
you.
plan.
We're definitely gonna have a part two interview because I
Yeah.
definitely didn't know after 6 months. I know you're gonna be taking off. I know you're gonna come in here with everything. Like you be like, oh yeah, hold on. You guys, hold on. Y'all got 5 minutes. Go ahead, Bob. Go ahead. I'm like, all right, whoa. I can't wait to see it because I see it already. I can't wait to see it. Keep it up and keep moving and
Thank you
keep
so
going
much.
ahead.
From like I said, from the trap gods, from your mouth to the trap gods' ears, baby. That's all I can say. And for the same for you, man. From my mouth to the talent and the stars for you. You know what I'm saying?
Thank
All good.
you. Yes. Thank you and thank you so much. Keep it tuned. VIBE95. Thank you for being with us again tonight with Mr. Salazar 305 and your girl Lay Lady. Have a great night. We'll see you guys again.
God bless. Good night.
Bye. Bless. Good night.